Hello everyone, CLK Outdoor Foldable. Our tent, gazebo and caravan tent will now be set up. I will share the setup video with you from start to finish. Friends, for those who are curious, this is 52mm aluminum, which is a special profile that should be in a caravan. Look, 52mm, 8-sided aluminum. The inside of our cross braces is solid. The parts of our legs that touch the ground, steel plate. What's important here are these supporting beams, friends. This already 5 centimeters, 5.5 centimeters. Also, because the inside of these supporting beams is solid, you never give up on 52mm 8-sided aluminum in caravan tents. Let's make that clear. Our top cover has arrived. This top cover can stay on the tent. We made this out of fence fabric. Is that right? Yes. We made it with fence fabric. There is a fabric on the ceiling. You need to pay attention to this detail. Special platinum fabric. Look here, how strong and nice its texture is. I mean, you know, fabric that's basically just wax inside is very common. This is not a knockoff product. This is pure fabric, as you know, friends. We also use this fabric because the biggest problem we see in caravan parks, they supplied cheap fabric to caravan parks. There's a wax coating on the underside. There's no real fabric in the product. After the first season, it starts to split in the middle and begins to rot. Fabric, this fabric is pure, as you know. Oxford fabric, friends. That's why you won't encounter such a problem. Our friends have put the top quality fabric on it. This is the side without the fringe addition, the bottom side. Now also, they will bring the part with the fringe addition on top. Our color is light gray. Our side curtains will also be brought one by one. They are preparing them inside and bringing them out one by one. Yes, another layer of fabric has been added on top. So it's double layered fabric. Now you can use this product in the rain, snow, sun, cold weather and hot weather. It doesn't cause sweating in the sun or in hot weather, and in winter it doesn't sag in the rain or snow. So there are two critical details here. A 52mm aluminum profile, double layered Oxford. It needs to be touch fabric and there shouldn't be a wax layer underneath. You need to pay attention to these details. Friends, and our product here has an additional fringe, meaning there's another fringe underneath the main one. You'll understand it better when we open it. Now there's a fringe here and there's also an additional fringe. As you can see below, there's an added fringe as well. You attach the main one on top and you attach the additional one underneath. And by pulling from the corners, our product opens easily. Friends, when you set this tent up in caravan parks, you don't have to take it down again. You need to secure it while keeping it perfectly square. Let me also give you the detailed information about this. Let's go underneath. We're looking from the outside. Let's see what's happening inside. Let's also take a look at those details. Our friend is going to secure this part now. He lifts it up by loosening the leg and pulls the side curtain. As you can see, the additional fringe is left outside here. The Velcro part stayed inside. He will also attach the tapes here. Let me give you information about this as well. Now they will lift the leg. Let's lift our legs. Let's take a look. So our customers can see as well. Yes, by releasing the leg, we are waiting for it to settle in place. Now we move on to the legs here. Look, this is a special tent that can be set up in just minutes. You don't have to deal with any profiles or anything like that. It's a tent that can be set up quickly. Right now we have double layered fabric on the top side. We had requested an additional awning. This part here is the additional section, friends. Friends, as CLK Outdoor, we are always pioneers of innovation. We are here to produce the best gazebos and baitents. We use the best materials. The height of our tent is currently at this level. This product can go up to 1.90, 2.10, even 2.20 meters. The reason I insistently mention 52mm aluminum is because of these beams, friends. And the plastics you see here, all of their molds belong to us. Let's show it again here with our friends. The side curtain has arrived for us. They will hang our side curtain. Our side curtain is mounted to the ceiling with Velcro. There is an important detail here. First, one of our friends takes alignment from here, leaving this part just slightly outside so that the other side can be mounted from here. And you proceed to the right. Friends, The second curtain will come now. First, install these products at the first stage, then raise the legs. Friends, let's mention this. Here, our curtain, our window, and our transparent part are at the bottom. Our additional awning and our mosquito net at the door. So all the details have been considered here. Now at Caravan parks, you won't hear things like, my tent flew away, my tent broke, or my tent collapsed under the snow. My tent's fabric tore in the first season. There's no such thing here. To avoid these kinds of problems, you should choose CLK. Let me just say that. Our second curtain has arrived as well, friends. Our group of friends are realigning it once again. Look, here's an important detail. Let me mention it again. Here, friends, are our stitches. Compared to similar products on the market, the stitches here are not single stitches. There are 5 stitches here. On top of that, there's one more stitch, so there are 6 stitches here in total. You don't see any gaps here. Do you see it? Look at the stitching details here. These are very important. So you can't make these kinds of comments about a gazebo tent or a caravan tent just by looking at it from the outside. Let us tell you the key points. You make the right assessment. You can see our fabric structure. Here, it's oxo fabric. There's no wax coating underneath. Down to the column details. Here, these are the column tensioners. Even these are special, friends. In other words, we produce the best for you. We manufacture them ourselves. Let us say this. Today is also a windy day. The setup happened to be today. No problem. Let's test the product in the wind. Right now, there are no connections on any of the legs. There are no connections in the leg holes. Even so, our tent is standing perfectly upright. Because it is heavy, friends. The aluminum alone weighs about 40 kilos right now. That's not including the tarpaulins. Our large side is the 4.5 meter side. Our side curtain is right in front of us now. We have 2 windows. All these details were customized by our customer. You do the drawing, we do the manufacturing. He said, let's have 2 windows here, a panoramic large view. We said okay and made it this way. On the windows, we have a curtain, a transparent layer, and a mosquito net. It's a triple version that can be opened. The mosquito net is fixed. The transparent layer can be opened. The curtain can be opened from the inside. The transparent layer is opened from the outside, from here, friends. There's one more detail. They'll do it in a moment. We'll see it here. In the caravan tent, friends, we secure all the curtain joints with a bunting strip so that the curtains don't sway. We close the 2 together with a locking zipper system so that cold wind doesn't come through, so our curtains don't get damaged. Both of these are important details. Let's go inside again. Let's see what's happening inside. Our 3 sides are closed again here. From the outside, they'll close all the joints. Look, do you see the buckle details, friends? Every detail is important here. In every detail, we use products with the best workmanship and the best materials. We have these buckles specially cast as well, so that they don't break easily. We do this so they aren't affected by the cold or the sun, friends. Our tent setup is continuing. We understood the setup video. We are joining the 4 sides together. We secure the legs and our tent is ready. In a moment, friends, we will move on to the introduction of this tent. Stay tuned with us. Follow us as CLK Outdoor on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook. Our promotions are being published, friends. Be the first to see the promotions. Don't miss the promotions. Goodbye. Hello everyone, greetings from CLK Outdoor, friends. I'm Fatih Çolak and we're starting our video. What's in this video? We have a 3x4.5 caravan tent. We've filmed many versions of the caravan tent. Our customer will attach this tent directly to the caravan. In other words, they're going to install it flush, friends. There are windows on both sides here. Our fabric is double layer coated. I mentioned this in the setup video. In a moment, we'll shoot the packing video and I'll add it to the end of the video. I'll add the setup video at the beginning and the packing video at the end. In between, you'll see this summary. We have double layer coating on the top side. What is double layer coating? There are two fabrics, friends. This is the first fabric. There's another fabric underneath. It's Oxford fabric. In other words, 200 grams, lightweight, waterproof, crack-resistant Oxford fabric. I'm emphasizing this insistently and repeatedly. Fabrics that are coated, thick, and have a wax layer underneath, which you think are good, are actually useless. At the first sign of rain, snow or sun, they will crack from underneath and melt away, friends. Those fabrics you buy because you think they're thick and good will crack. They're cheap fabrics because there's nothing substantial on the fabric itself. There's a layer of wax underneath. On top of the wax, there's a fabric that weighs only 10 or 20 grams. They use this so it can be sold at a low price and you get fooled thinking it's thick. In reality, you're not buying fabric, you're just buying a layer of wax underneath. That's all there is to it. So what do? We use 200 grams of Oxford fabric on top and 200 grams on the bottom. There's no wax layer, it's waterproof, and we use double layers so it never tears or cracks. At these joining seams, friends, there's both a knitting and weaving system here. We both knit it and then we add a binding system on top, so there are 6 stitches here. They have seals, they have tapes. On our window here we have 0.60 mica sheets. Let me show you right here, just below our windows. Here we have a mosquito net. There's a curtain at the back. It's currently folded up. I'll show it from the inside in a moment. These can also be folded and opened upwards. Friends, let me mention that. This is an important detail. You customize this tent. We as CLK make it. It's a customized tent. So what does customized mean? You can have a window here, a door next to the window, a mosquito net, a chimney hole, whatever you want. You request it and we make those features. You decide. Friends, let me give you this information in detail. So what you see here on this tent, the color of the top, the sides, the bottom, the trim details, you can request every single thing. Our fabric quality is first class. We never use mica below 0.60 thickness. Our mosquito netting is specially woven, high quality netting. So it's not a cheap netting that wears out easily, friends. Let me make that clear. Inside, our curtain is made from the same top fabric. On the 4.5 meter side you see here, on all sides measuring 3 by 4.5 meters, friends. We are the only company that uses special fabrics and special stitching systems in every detail. Here is our door. Our customer requested it on the 3 meter side. This tent is 3 by 4.5 meters. One of our tent profiles is 52 by 1.5 millimeters, made with octagonal aluminum. I see this in caravan parks. With black and white profiles of 30 or 40 millimeters. You are using frames with hollow crossbars imported from China. These frames are of no use to you, especially for our customers in caravan parks. You set up your tent and you have to stay there for days, months, even years, and you need a shelter tent. If in this situation you don't use 52 by 1.5 millimeters, if your crossbars are hollow and you use frames imported from China, no matter what you use on top of it, no matter what you do, friends, your structure will collapse. And when it collapses, friends, you'll say, my tent collapsed, I have to spend money again. Instead, pay a little more and get 52 millimeter aluminum, double layered fabric, choose Okazor fabric, customize the sides however you want, and use it for years. This product comes with a warranty, the others do not, friends. Let's make that clear. The inside of the profiles is solid. In a moment, when I move to the profile section on the side, I'll show you this. 50. We manufacture 100% of the CLK profiles ourselves. In our production, we use steel plates for the legs. We manufacture the aluminum parts ourselves. It has a 1.5 millimeter thickness and is coated with anodized finish. The other 30 and 40 profiles that we import from China, we bring them in to use as stand tents. You guys make and provide those because they're cheaper. Don't we make them ourselves? If you really want, we can provide 40 millimeter profiles or hexagonal profiles. But we say, brother, this already has its own weight. There could be snow, wind or rain loads here. And on top of that, there's the weight of these as well. Along with this tent won't support you. In other words, it can't bear this weight, and at the first sign of wind or shaking, it will collapse from the center joints. We've already experienced the harsh consequences of this in the last windstorm, snow and storm, and we will continue to do so. Let's make this clear, friends. I'm moving past this detail. We've already discussed the details here. We've mentioned that it's customizable. Let's move right over to the side. Before we move on, this always comes to my mind here, friends. Right as we move to the side, there's a detail here, the zipper connection detail. We specifically add this detail here to prevent cold wind from getting in. And here we also have guy lines. Our friends immediately found these guy lines as well. Kubash has also tightened this one. We provide you with a rope and stake set, or you can tighten it with your own ropes at first. From the corners and the middle sections, from these spots, you can use this tent by tightening it. What benefit does this have? It keeps your tent square and doesn't cause any damage. At the same time, it prevents rainwater from getting in here. It's an important detail. By the way, our Farouk 52 cross profile. Also, it doesn't matter if it's the 30 or 40 imported from China. If we have a crossbar, let's immediately show our customer the difference between them. Here you go. Let's move on to the 3-meter side. Again, our customer requested a window here, one that can be opened, and a chimney hole here. Of course, that's possible. Fireproof fabric. I'm opening this part. You can cut the hole here however you want. You cut it to fit the diameter of your pipe, and when you don't want to use it, you can close it up. After it's cut here, won't this fabric burn? It won't burn. That's what we're saying. After it's cut, won't the cut spread? It won't spread. This fabric already has a special texture. For example, even if I try to pull it apart with my hand after cutting it with a knife, it still won't tear. It won't crack. The cut won't go past the seam. So this is a special fabric, friends. We guarantee it. We use it ourselves as well. What is the advantage of this? When we put a plate here while folding the plate, in other words, while folding the product, this plate adds a lot of weight, or it pulls downwards here. Instead of that, we prefer a fire-resistant fabric product. So what do you do when you're done with your work? You close this cover, friends. Here, again, we have a window that I mentioned earlier at the front. There's a transparent layer, a mosquito net behind it, and a curtain behind that. Let's move on to our door. Here, there's a very tall door. It is 90 centimeters wide. You can determine this yourself as well. 70, 80, 90, 100. We open it according to your preference as much as this place allows, friends. And our zippers can also be opened from the bottom here. I will quickly open one side. And I will go inside. Here, a mosquito net greets us. Please go ahead. Here is the mosquito net detail on the door, friends. You can also open and close this mosquito net from the inside. You can also remove it from here if you don't want it anymore. All our curtains are removable, like this one. So, all the upper curtains you see here are detachable, folks. It can be removed and reattached. You can take these curtains down if you don't want them there in the summer. 3 by 4.5 meters. I'm inside a 13 square meter tent, a very large area. Caravan, for our customers in the park, it's a priceless, invaluable opportunity. It's a really large area. So you can add a resting area here whenever you want. You can put a stove here. You can place a seating set next to it. You can place a small table and chair set there. You can turn this into a complete living space. I think it's a very ideal size. It's 3 by 4.5, friends. Let's mention that. For those who don't have enough space, this is the new size we've introduced. You can use the 2.5 by 3.75 dimensions, but in my opinion, the most ideal is 3 by 4.5. You also build a platform underneath this. If you build a platform out of 10 centimeter wood decking or pallets and place this tent on top of it, it will be much better. You cut off contact with the ground. Our aluminum tents are exactly 3 by 4.5. The frames imported from China are 2.9 by 4.3. So there's a shortcoming there as well. Let me explain the details of that too. So the fabric there, you can't use the fabric from this one on that one. If you bought that tent and God forbid you have an unfortunate accident, which you will, let's hope nothing happens, but those tents can't hold up. So what do you do, friends? I can't use that fabric on this one, but you immediately come to buy this frame. You can't use them anymore. Those fabrics are trash now. It's over because the measurements don't match each other. The dome of this one is higher. Its width is exactly 3 by 4.5. Since the Chinese frames and Italian frames are 2.90 by 4.30, you can't use that fabric on this one. You can't use this fabric on that one. Here, since we're on the topic, let me mention it. Thank you. Now, friends, you keep saying 52 millimeters, 52 millimeters. What's the difference between them? Even though the profile looks the same from the outside, it's actually not, friends. Now, here's the thing. This profile is our own domestic product. These are the crossbars of the 52 series. Let the camera look over here right away. The crossbars here are the supports. This profile is the 30 series imported from China. In fact, 90% of them are white profiles. That's how you can tell. There are also gray ones of these. Now, there are some who bring in gray ones to make them look like aluminum. In other words, when it comes to misleading customers, they're unmatched. We don't do that. Friends, we tell it like it is. This is also a 40 series frame, again imported from China, so don't be fooled just because it's called a 40 series. This is also a Chinese frame, and it's hollow inside. Let's show the differences here right away. Let's bring in our camera. Whether it's a 40 or 52 series, this imported Chinese frame is 1mm and hollow inside. Paper. Let our camera listen to the sound. Empty. 30 series profile, the frame imported from China has a thickness of 1mm. It's basically a light metal, as you know. I mean, even if I squeeze it in my hand. Right now, it's in a state where it will be crushed or bent. Let's have our camera listen to the sound here as well. Empty. Let's hold these together. Now let's move on to the 52mm one. Why do we say 52mm? This is our own 52 series aluminum profile that we made. You can see the cross braces inside. There are reinforcements, friends. And here the surrounding thickness is 1.5mm wall thickness. Let's listen to the sound here as well. What a deep, solid sound. So here's a detail. Let's highlight an important feature. I see this on the internet. They try to break chairs and such. One guy does it like this to one of them. He tries to break another one even faster. We won't be doing that. I'm pressing down on the middle profile. Nothing happens. Let's bring it over. In the same way. Look, I'll press with the same amount of force. It's gone. That's one. A 40 series profile, hexagonal profile. It's gone. Now let's head back over to our user profile page. It's standing just as it was, friends. There's just a little bit of sagging. Because it's 1.5mm, we can restore it to its original state again. So you've understood the differences very well here. I didn't bother trying to break or bend these profiles. You can see the state of the profiles at the first touch. What a shame. These are capital national wealth, friends. But these are the differences. Thank you. I hope you have fully understood the details of the differences here. I have explained the differences between 30 series, 40 series and 50 series in detail thousands of times. Why am I telling you about these differences? In this video we have seen the reality of this. Friends, now let there be no doubt left in your mind. What we mean by 30 series, 40 series, 50 series is this. The external dimensions of the profile. What matters here is not just the external dimensions of the profile. Here, the things that change are the diagonal scissors, the aluminum outer edges, the upper parts, the plates, the base plates, the steel plate, all the plastics on our carriers here, 30% glass fiber reinforcement. There are many differences, friends. Now we've covered the skeleton part, we understand it now. Here we have a detail. I told you. In the caravan tent, our customer will secure this caravan tent to their caravan. What will they do? There is a refrigerator outlet here. They gave us the measurements. We made an opening here for access to the refrigerator. You can close this immediately. There is a small electrical spot here. There is access to it. Here, again, there is a small access point. There is access to it. We have a door here. They didn't want a screen on the door side because there is a caravan exit. We have a window here. Here we have a window screen. So you request all these details. We make them for you. In this tent, in this video, I've explained many features. I hope I've explained all the details to you. I talked about a 3x4.5 tent. At CLK, we make the best. Follow us on YouTube. I will add it here, friends. Follow us on Instagram. Because from time to time, not just occasionally, but always, we offer you campaigns 2 to 3 times a month. We want you to take advantage of this campaign. Turn on notifications so you can subscribe to us and our friends will be right there with you. Let the promotional part of the product come there. Let the video come there. You should benefit from these too. I'm Fatih Çolak. I love you, CLK Outdoor. I'm trying to tell you about the best ones. I'm trying to give you all the details. I want you to know which profile you bought, how much you paid, and what you spent your money on. And I'm trying to inform you correctly. Take good care of yourselves. Stay tuned. Goodbye. Hello friends, we have 3 profiles here. The dual camera is filming me. I'm looking to the right and to the left, so please excuse me for that. The details of our profiles here are as follows. I call them 40, 52 and 30. What are the differences between them? I always mention this and today we'll test it. This is the diagonal of the 52 profile. This 40 is an imported profile from China, and this 30 is also a Chinese profile. Friends, don't always be fooled by the 30, 40 or 52 labels. Here the important details are not just the outer legs. It's the diagonals here. Now my first profile. Friends, what are we doing with the 30 profile? It's gone. Second profile, 40 Chinese profile. What are we doing? It's gone. Third profile, 52 profile. What are we doing? It didn't go. We're forcing it. We're pressing it to the ground. We're trying to break it. Nothing happens. The detail here is not just about the 30 or 40, it's the 52 profile. Do you see these? They're basically trash paper. We bury these profiles, don't we sell them? We do, but at least don't buy this for a caravan tent, friends. And if you do buy it, please don't say this. My profile broke after 2 days. It's a price performance product. We can keep breaking these like this all the time. But this profile, I can't break it, friends. What's the reason? It's CLK's production 52mm aluminum profile.